My dear friends, sin does many things to us. Far more things than we could ever begin to be mindful of. But among the most graphic is that sin defiles us. In the eyes of God, it makes us filthier than a dirty stable. Sin pollutes us. And of course, the problem with all of this is that everything about God is clean, brilliantly white. Not the slightest impurity is allowable in His presence. Which means then we need purification. So, how do we get clean? Have you ever read the book of Leviticus? Because that's what that book is about. People were made clean, at least ostensibly, by priests offering sacrifices. Year after year, decade after decade, century after century, the offering of sacrifices was relentless. By the way, friends, have you ever taken note of the furniture that exists inside that temple? Furniture that was prescribed by God Himself? God was very emphatic with Moses. I want you to make things exactly the way I show them to you. And so inside the Holy of Holies was the Ark of the Covenant. Just outside the Holy of Holies was a room called the Holy Place, and there was an altar of incense, a table for the showbread, 10 lampstands, 2 decorative pillars with chains and bowls. Very interesting to me. A lot of work went on inside that temple. The men inside that place were very busy every morning, every evening, offering sacrifices every single day. It seems to me that there is one piece of furniture that is conspicuous by its absence. Piece of furniture missing from that place. Something God forgot in His interior decorating. There's nothing in that place on which to sit down. Well, you see, the message came across loudly and clearly. It was never appropriate for a priest to sit. Why? Because his work of making purification was never done. All of his offerings and all of his efforts couldn't cleanse one person of even one single sin. So why do it? Why engage in that relentless drama? Because of what all of those sacrifices pointed to. The coming of the Son, this Son, who would serve as both priest and sacrifice. And when this Lamb was slain, you see, for the very reason that He is who He is, the radiance of God's glory and the exact expression of His nature, He could declare from a cross the statement that had never before been uttered by a priest. It is finished. And then what happened? He was buried in a tomb. 3 days later, raised from the dead, He ascended into the real Holy of Holies, and for the first time in the history of redemption, a priest sat down. Cleansing had once for all time been accomplished, a sufficient sacrifice for the vilest of your sins and mine. You say, so what does all of this have to do with me? What does all of this have to do with my life? But with all due respect, you are not the center of the universe. And I am not the center of the universe. The Son of God is the center of the universe. And until you understand your place in relationship to Him, you will never understand your place in this universe. So what does all of this have to do with you? It has everything to do with you. He is the cosmic Lord. That means He made you. Your life is in His hands. And you are His. He is the incarnate God, which means in Him this morning, your search for God can end in success. That to walk away from Him in any direction can only lead you to ruin. He is the priestly King. That means that in Him, all of your sin and all of your guilt can be removed, put away, The fact is, you'd be foolish to ignore him, because he is the one to whom every person ultimately bows, either in this life or in eternity. All of which means you must not turn away from him. You must not walk away from him. All of your hope for life and eternity resides with him. So come to this unequally great one. Come to the Son of God. Come to Jesus Christ. If you have come to him before, then along with me, come to him again this morning and keep coming to him. Come to him right now, right where you are, right where you're sitting. And if you have never come to him, then by God's very authority I say to you this morning, come to him right now. He's never turned away any who has come to him. Turn your back on all of the lesser gods that have held you in their grip and entrust your eternity into the hands of the Son of God. Jesus Christ will receive you. Because you see, this one who is the cosmic Lord, the incarnate God, and the priestly King is also the friend of sinners. That includes me, and it includes you. You come to him, and he will receive you. Stake your confidence in this. God has spoken. He is not silent. And his word to us is Jesus Christ, the one who is unequally great. Don't turn away from him. Turn to him.